welcome back. YouTube.com/Geek Aloud for another Let's Install today. Devil May 5 Cry, and Virgil. That's right, it's the DLC combo. The reason we're installing this one today is it's currently, and only for the next 8 hours, is available for $13.18 Australian into the Xbox Series X game store. So I'm going to go ahead, select all, and hit install. And I can tell you that Devil May Cry 5 onto the Xbox Series X is available at 35.59 gigabytes plus the playable character, which is just going to be an unlock key, so I'm sure that'll only be a mere 10.1 or 10.5 megabytes, something very small, I'm sure, to add on to the very moderately sized, I would argue, 35.59 gigabytes for the Devil May Cry 5 Xbox Series X edition, currently available and on sale. Also note, over in the PlayStation land, it's available. Also available over there, if you look, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is available if you're in one of the higher tiers of the PlayStation 5, Jim Cry and Ryan's higher tier and level. You can get it as part of, what do they call it? The games catalog. Hundreds more titles in the games catalog. So if you're subscribed to the games catalog on the extra or premium tier of PlayStation 5, you could pick it up there at no additional cost. However, today we are doing it here on the channel on the Xbox Series X. As I said, I paid $13.18 for it, Australian. And as we can see here, it is a total download size of 35.59 gigabytes onto an Xbox Series X. The Virgil character, I'm willing to bet, is about 10 meg, maybe 10.5 meg, as I'm tempted it'll just be an unlock code for the content that's already included in that 35.59 gigabytes. The other thing of note is it's Devil May Cry 5, which came out about 3 years ago onto the Xbox One X. It had the enhanced edition on there and the PS4 Pro. They released it on there. Both the enhanced editions. It was sort of the first 4K outing for the Devil May Cry series. But obviously today, now I'm showing you it's available on the Xbox Series X. So it's re-released again for that, a higher resolution, a higher frame rate, locked 60 frames a second. But also on the PlayStation 5 edition in the Jim Cry and Ryan extra tiers, it's that higher edition there as well. So it's definitely one worth checking out, and we're going to install it here today. It's going to be about 18 minutes on my fat pipe coming into the studio. So without further ado, let's install. Oh, wait, before I jump off the couch, I'll remind you again that the podcast we do here weekly on Gaming Enforcement Agency, on Geek Aloud, is the Gaming Enforcement Agency. That is now also available as a podcast on, iTunes, Google Podcast, Amazon Podcast, and Spotify. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast, you can grab our weekly thoughts of the games we've been playing. I say we, and I mean myself, Bully, and Unky Dunky will be back on the couch this Thursday night, 8 p.m. This is your official invitation. Swing on by that live stream, chat with us as we go. Bully will pick off the comments, and we can interact with you live in real time. Have you been playing Devil May Cry 5? Will you pick it up? Currently, as I said, you've got 9 hours to pick it up for $13 and was it 81 cents? Something like that. Pretty cheap on Xbox. If you're already a premium or extra tier subscriber on PlayStation, you can check it out for free. Either way, check it out and then join us on Thursday night, 8 p.m. for the Gaming Enforcement Agency, where I'll be giving you my hands-on impressions of the recent re-release of the game, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Chat away. But if you can't make it Thursday night, jump on over to the podcast services and look us up there. You can pick it up. I think it takes me about 2 or 3 hours to turn around and get on those services. So early Friday morning, you'll be able to hear it as a podcast if that's what you're interested in. But for now, let's install Devil May Cry 5 right here, youtube.com/Geek Aloud. installed Devil May Cry 5 and the playable character. And I didn't look up to see in time. Was it 10 meg? My money was on 10.5 meg for that one. We can check it out after the fact, of course, which is exactly what we'll do right here at youtube.com/Geek Aloud's famous Let's Install series. That's right, they go back 4 years. If there's any sort of heavy hitter or any interesting independent games from the past 4 years, go back on the channel and you will be able to see each and every single one of them there for your viewing pleasure and archival purposes. I like to think I'm creating a small snippet of the documentation of the history of video gaming here on Geek Aloud. Come with me, won't you? Have a journey. Come with us and have a journey on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. for the Gaming Enforcement Agency. It's our weekly video gaming podcast right here on Geek Aloud, and it covers everything in the video gaming world that's worth paying attention to. It's myself, Bully, and Uncle Unky Dunky talking about we'll talk about a couple of games apiece, probably 6 to 8 games that we've been playing in the past week. Give you our hands-on, in-depth thoughts and opinions on those games. And of course, we kick in a newsroom door and we cover all the important news stories of the week in the video gaming landscape. And then it's everyone's favorite segment. That's right, it's the standoff where we put the best of gaming up against the other best of gaming. As last week saw the release of the remake of Dead Space, last week's standoff was the best video game representations of zombies in games. Be sure to go back and check that one out. See who won. No spoilers here. You'll have to go back and check out last week's episode. I think it was 58, I want to say, of the Gaming Enforcement Agency. But we're doing Devil May Cry 5's Let's Install right here onto an Xbox Series X. So let's have a look at the options, shall we? Lock-ons, camera, speed, distance, tracking. Auto assist is off, but auto assist lets you perform combos with simple button inputs. Maybe one for the old man hands. We'll leave it by default for now, and we'll come back. Tutorials and vibrations can stay on. Sound, usually a standard fare there. Dynamic range. Now, I do need to pull that back to small because I've got quite small speakers here in the studio. If you've got a nice big whopping sound system at home, though, feel free to crank that right up. Do your own brightness settings. No point me doing it here in the studio on camera as two great whopping studio lights in my eyes. Controls. Now, is it a control map? Oh, look at this. There you go. Standard button mapping, but it gives you the picture on the side and lets you modify them as to whatever restrictions you may have in the hand. Subtitles off. That is the big one for me. I love having that off. Network settings, I assume it's an online off-my type game mode. Okay. So, they're all the settings for Devil May Cry 5. Before I bounce out, I'll take the opportunity to remind you, if you're watching on a PlayStation 5 and you've got either the extra or premium tier of the PlayStation Plus subscription, you can be also checking this one out at no extra cost. However, for myself, I paid the $13.80. It's currently on sales on the Xbox game stores, which is how I picked it up for $13. I think it was 81 cents. And I'm keen to go back hands-on now with it on the Xbox Series X for the enhanced features. But not the queue. Actually, the queue will get us there. I've gone the long way, but that's okay. Let's go to the game card. Manage. This is what I was really trying to get at. Man, I went the long way for that one. But I can show you here that the full install size of Devil May Cry 5 onto an Xbox Series X, currently it is that way, version 1.0.0.8. And that is a full and complete install of 35.6 gigabytes for the base game. And as predicted, the game character unlock was 10 meg, but why not? We'll grab the Monkey Business extra bit of free DLC. I guess it came with, as I said, I picked it up for $13.81. Currently on sale. It's only on sale for another 9 hours, though. So if you're a Devil May Cry, old school Devil May Cry fan, now is a great time to check it out and go hands-on the Xbox Series X version. As I said, if you've got the PlayStation 5 and the higher tiers, you can check it out at no additional cost there. For my full and complete hands-on impressions, be sure to come back Thursday night, 8 p.m. right here for the Gaming Enforcement Agency. What else can you do with the channel? Like it, subscribe it, you'll never miss it. Oh, that was luck. Hey, that's something. Oh, look out! These players